is everyone's favorite millionaire communist. And every communist should be a millionaire, obviously. Career finally coming to an end.
So today we get to talk about Hasan. Okay, I say we get to talk about Hasan. It's more like we have to talk about Hasan. There's some screenshots that have been leaked of him. There's an awkward interaction he had with a fan recently. Two big stories that I want to discuss today with you guys. But before we do, please be sure to leave a like on this video. Make that like button and that subscribe button your Valentines for Valentine's Day. Wife them up, wine and dine them, and then smash them. That was graphic, dude. I'm sorry. Anyway, Hasan recently had a bunch of Discord screenshots leaked where he's complaining about his declining viewership, about the state of his community, and overall how his career is currently in like the worst state it's ever been. Okay, so we have a message collage here from Hasan Abi. So the first one says, "I'm so sad. I think the streams are bangers, but people just don't see them." Dude, I think people see that you're streaming. Nobody wants...
Yeah, who wants to watch a guy who's probably more than half the time going away and just letting a video play? Like, come on.
To watch. This is like the clearly strung out homeless guy asking for money, and at the end of the day he has no money and he's like, oh, I guess people just didn't see me begging. No, we did see you. We chose to ignore you. I go on Twitch every now and then to see a Jinxie stream, and I do see Hasan is live. I don't watch it. A lot of people...
17k is still pretty good. So did he pull in more than 17k? I don't know. I have never followed Hasan. I think I once clicked on his stream by accident. And that's my experience with Hasan streaming.
People just don't watch it. And like, forget the politics. You know, obviously this guy's politics are brain dead. He has very little to offer in terms of political insight.
I'll change this every day.
Yeah, it's called the left for a reason. Yeah, makes sense.
Ukraine has still not been invaded by Russia. Every day.
Oh boy.
As an entertainer, he's just weak. I mean, the kind of camera presence he provides, the kind of live entertainment that you're supposed to get from a Twitch stream, you can't get from Hasan Abi. I am more entertained by a 24/7 fireplace live stream on YouTube than...
Okay. One, to be completely fair, which dude does not love the smell of gas and watching things burn because the flames are magical and pull you in? Okay? So this is kind of an unfair comparison.
Than I am a Hasan Abi live stream. The 30 seconds of animated looped footage on the Lo-Fi Girl Beats to Study To stream is enough for me. Hasan,
Jeez.
Not quite. The next one says, we used to be a community. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I guess he just kind of like...
They used to be a community, but then he got a mansion, and yeah, it was a negated community. There's still a community, but you're on different sides of the fence.
Destroyed his audience by becoming too radical.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
Like, sometimes I'll pop into a Destiny stream and I'll see a donation that says something like, oh, I used to be a Hasan viewer, thank God I escaped, or thank God I grew out of it.
Jesus Christ, being a Hasan viewer and then going to Destiny, it's not like you're exactly changing for the best, honestly.
One thing that I...
Because remember, especially, by the way, if you're not left-leaning, if you're, like, more on the right, and you think, oh, this is actually a reasonable... He hates you. He literally fucking hates you. You can just Google that, by the way. Disney's opinions of the right. You know, when he drops that mask, he just calls you, inbred, who thinks there's a spaghetti monster flying around, and that you should not have rights because you're too dumb. So, you know, have fun with that one.
What I do respect Destiny for is that he doesn't seem to play into this partisanship where if the left says something, he agrees almost always. Obviously, he has plenty of flaws, and I'm not here to glaze the guy, but, I mean, Hasan is way more partisan than most other streamers. Like, if something is left-wing,
Hasan at least is honest about him being complete partisan hack.
100% almost always agrees with it. He doesn't take the time to fact check, to do research, to see what the other side is saying, or to give them an honest, charitable listen. His role at this point in...
Most successful YouTubers, streamers, and pretty much everyone, none of them do that because that's dumb. That's not your ticket to success.
time in online politics is taking the most extreme left-wing position that's espoused on Twitter or something like that and parroting it to his large audience and getting his chat riled up to agree with him and freaking out over people who disagree. That's sort of what he does now. I hate what my community is becoming. That's a very interesting way to blame your community for changing and not you for changing the audience that watches your stuff. Like, dude, as an audience, the people
I don't actually understand what this is, because hasn't his community always been, well, effectively this right here, hasn't it always been kind of like that? Hasn't it always been a radical bunch of, you know, degenerates and people who claim socialism good while having rich parents? Isn't that his, you know, general base community from the start to the finish? So can he even say they have changed, really?
people that will watch your stuff agree with you the most. If you're gonna say my fans suck, maybe you just suck. He's basically saying he hates the community of people that watch his content. He hates his own viewers. I swear Twitch streaming isn't about the actual content, it's about whether people want to pay attention to you or not and clout. All that shit was a banger and 13K watched like I'm fucking gaming at 8 p.m. I'm done, I hate this job, I'm not streaming today. I'm going to off myself. Okay, so the theme of this message collage is that he hates what his community has become, he's upset with the current state of his fan base, etc., right? Now, what happens when we literally see a current member of Hasan's new fan base interact with him in...
By the way, if you're essentially wondering what's happening here, well, the quite fucking obvious thing that always happens to the left is happening here. Their views are extreme, and when their views are challenged, they cannot be challenged. So it's either you're with them or you're against them. And being with them absolutely makes no sense. Even Hasan can probably see that in a lot of situations. But since they're his fans and Hasan is not with them, yeah, that means he's an enemy. And that's kind of problematic, most likely, in his situation. Remember, I remember hearing that Hasan was too afraid to play Hogwarts Legacy because he was afraid that his viewership is gonna boycott him. He wanted to play it, but he chickened out.
Person. Well, it looks something like this.
Oh yeah. Thanks so much.
I'm sorry, I forgot to say you need to stop drinking Coke Zero on stream. It's boycott.
Card Zero, did she say? Oh.
Is it?
You're preaching pro-Palestine and you're drinking all this boycott stuff, please, Hasan.
Whoa, what?
At least pretend. Do it off stream, please.
Okay, I'll put it in a glass. Is Pepsi okay?
No.
No soda,
That's good.
I didn't know it was like that.
I'm trying to stop it, isn't
So this girl sprints up to Hasan so fast, like really just like in the middle of the street, like it's urgent for her, right? All to say that he should stop drinking Coke Zero because apparently...
Oh, Coke Zero, okay.
They have to boycott Coke products in order to support a country whose name I don't think I can say on YouTube right now without getting demonetized. She basically says, stop drinking Coke products because it's boycott season. And then he's like, can I put it in a glass? And then she's like, no.
Wait, to be fair, she did the actual reasonable sense thing that these people almost never do, and she said, at least pretend. I'm pretty sure she said that, right? At least pretend.
And then she says something quite funny to me. She's like, at least drink it off stream. It's like, okay, well then nothing's even being boycotted. He's just virtue signaling. I found that so funny. She's like, okay, well if you are going to drink it, still drink it. It doesn't matter if you actually do it at the end of the day because, you know, my morality is not actually, you know, real and firm. I don't have a strong moral foundation. It really is just how people perceive me. But you have to imagine, this is the most funny timing for this to take place. Hasan is doing an IRL stream in Australia. And after these messages get leaked of him saying, I hate what my community has become, I think everyone who watches me now is cringe, he literally has an interaction with one of his fans where she runs up to him and basically says, hey, yeah, just virtue signal more. Please virtue signal harder. This should just show you that the entire strategy of Hasan right now is resulting in fans exactly that you would expect. Like I said, his strategy is finding the most outlandish leftist position and parroting it. No matter what, no matter if it actually is true, no matter if it makes sense, whatever.
Oh, I saw part of this, I think. Is this the Piers Morgan thing where Hasan says, well, I am just a mouthpiece of propaganda? That was good.
It's about looking good. It's about the optics of being a strong communist, right? And then in reality, that's the kind of fans he ends up with. People who only care about looking like a leftist, a progressive. People who their biggest priority in life is making sure they can't be seen with products that are being, quote, boycotted. This is the same breed of people that after the passing of George Floyd decided to post black squares on their Instagram in order to tell everybody who follows them that they, like, don't like racism. Whoa! You hate racism? No way! Me too. We should, talk about it. We should post about how we don't like racism. And, like, that's, like, our thing. Like, we don't like racism and everyone should know about it. I think another big reason why he might hate what his community is becoming is because a large part of the community that he had formed was because of his friendship and podcast that he had with Ethan Klein. Now, Ethan Klein...
Oh, yeah, this thing burned down, didn't it? Because Ethan started crying on stream Israel. And... yeah, that was pretty funny.
And well, you know, he's cringe, whatever, he's washed up. His audience, I wouldn't say is crazy. You know, H3H3, his audience isn't known to be psycho.
I will say that his audience is absolutely blatantly fucking crazy. The people who are currently actually fans of Ethan Klein are absolutely without a question crazy, okay? Well, IDUBS fans couldn't. IDUBS fans, again, previously... these guys were okay, but now they're, you know, one's a cuck and the other one's, oh no, also a cuck technically, oh. In any case, yeah, if you're a current fan of Ethan Klein and you think he's great, you're a problem, and I don't like you.
Psychopathic or like, you know, nutty leftists or anything like that. Surely they're liberal, you know, maybe even far left, but they're not like this insane communist type like Hasan fosters. And so I think...
yeah, this actually does not represent far left. Xi Jinping.
Like this insane communist type like Hasan fosters. And so I think around the time that Ethan Klein and Hasan stopped doing their podcast and they had their split and they no longer did their show, I think a large part of Hasan's audience realized how reasonable like Ethan is and how maybe unreasonable and too extreme Hasan is for their liking and perhaps stopped watching him. So the ones that sticked around, you know, just became farther and farther radicalized by Hasan. Hasan also complains that his viewership on Twitch is low when he does things outside of drama or politics, which is something that I actually experience too whenever I do something that is...
well, yeah, if you're a drama channel or you're a news channel, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're making content around Diablo 4 and Diablo 4 hasn't gotten an update in a year, yeah, viewership probably is going down. Kinda makes sense.
Isn't drama when I'm streaming, my views go down. Now, Hasan is like upset / surprised by this as, you know, reflected in the Discord messages. I actually totally get it and it makes a lot of sense to me and I'm fine with it. The reason that people watch me is because they like my commentary on drama, situations, stories, whatever, right? So when I'm live and I'm not doing those things, maybe I'm gaming or maybe I'm doing something that's not what they would expect, they're not gonna watch it, which is fine, you know? If you watch a fitness YouTuber who gives dieting tips and then you click on his stream and he's doing stand-up comedy, okay, well that's not what you expected, right? So you're not gonna watch it. Maybe you don't expect him to be funny, you know, whatever. It's not what you're tuning in for. Hasan is obviously going to have that same problem. When he's playing Valorant, most of his community is there to watch him talk about politics, so they're just not going to watch it. But also, the audacity, too, to complain about 13,000 people not being enough. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Normally, I get like 30,000 people watching me complain about politics, and now I have 13,000 while I'm playing video games. I think this...
I mean, well, to be fair, that is a valid complaint because you see the numbers go down or up, and it doesn't matter if you previously were streaming to 100 people, now you're streaming to 60. Hey, you're gonna feel bad no matter what. If you were streaming to 30 and now you're streaming to 20, you're gonna feel bad. That actually I do understand because that's just normal people behavior. If you're getting paid 1,000 and suddenly you're getting paid 800. You're gonna be upset. You're not gonna like that. That's actually that's arguably probably the only reasonable thing that Hasan has done in his life. Be upset about normal things that other people also understand and could be upset.
This guy does forget how lucky he is to be in the position that he's in. Like, obviously, as you grow as a creator and you become more popular and famous, your standards and expectations adjust accordingly, so, you know, maybe 13K is super disappointing for him, but for most streamers, that's huge. There's a lot of streamers I watch that are famous that get like 2,000 viewers per. I think Hasan should enter a rebuilding stage of his career where he focuses on getting kind of a newer audience that will watch him when he does politics, but we'll watch him when he does gaming, and maybe he is less extreme.
Hell no, that's never happening. I think Hasan is fundamentally never gonna put in enough effort to, you know, research topics that he talks about and whatnot. So that's never happening. Also, when you're doing the political thing, you know why Destiny actually succeeds so often when others don't? Because Destiny will literally never take a risk that, you know, is actually risky. You know, he's gonna say things like, yeah, Rittenhouse self-defense, obviously. Yeah, there was a bunch of people who tried to kill him. Yeah, obviously self-defense and justified. And even if he's wrong, still there's gonna be a lot of people who support him because that's kind of clearly like 50% split, right? But for other things, it's just, you know, fence sitting, essentially. Oh, we don't have enough information. Well, fucking man up and say what you actually think currently, even though we all know that there's clearly not enough information. Hasan will never do that. Hasan will never do that. And if you don't fence sit in the middle in political shit, or flip-flop your position often, well, you're not gonna probably get too part into political stuff. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That was a Cheeto. 10 out of 10. This is Quizzer Sid saying thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.